Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the long delay. I'm an extremely busy person with my track, and we got too many contracts that I cannot do not even one video a week. So sorry about that. In this occasion, I will be talking about Turek. You know that bullshit preacher, right? And I'm going to review a very tiny percentage of his video, which is the actual very beginning, where he talks about this Navy SEAL, and this is his typical MO every time he goes to a fucking university, right? To gullible people and try to convince him of things. And I really, me and as an ex-soldier, I find it really disrespectful what this bullshitter is saying. And I will show you this, and I will prove my case. Okay, so let's come into the intro. Okay, excuse me. In the main event, let's see what this bullshit is all about.
Well, good evening, Broncos. I think you guys eclipsed the University of Buffalo last week. You know, 1 week ago, 1,991 years ago, it is alleged that the greatest event in human history took place, and that is the resurrection of Jesus. Alleged. The question is, did it really happen?
Okay, so prove it.
That's what I want to investigate tonight.
You're not investigating tonight. You're not going to investigate shit. You're just going to start fucking waffling.
And I want to start on September 29th.
Why?
2006. That's when Petty Officer Michael Monsoor is a United States Navy SEAL operating in Ramadi, Iraq. Monsoor is standing on a roof in Ramadi, and he's standing in front of a doorway.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to repeat that top part. Standing in front of a doorway to this roof, X roof. Okay, please take attention to that. I have said this on a video before, but I'm going to repeat it again because this guy, Mr. Turek, is a deceptive person.
To this roof. He has two Navy SEAL teammates lying in the sniper-prone position at his feet. They've already taken AK-47 fire.
He doesn't know what type of rounds. He's talking out of his ass. Maybe they were AK-47, but it sounds so negative because we don't fire AK-47s in a normal in our regiment, right? We don't, or any NATO conflict. We don't shoot that type of rifle, nor caliber, right? But he's trying to impersonate that the bad guys shoot AK-47. He doesn't fucking know what he's talking about.
Fire and a rocket-propelled grenade, but they're not exactly sure where the enemy is. There's a bit of a lull in the fighting. Insurgents have blocked off the streets in Ramadi, and there's someone...
They didn't block the streets. They occupied almost 90% of the town. Okay, so he's talking shit again.
On the loudspeaker in the town mosque.
Remember what he just said. On the town mosque, in a loudspeaker, look what he's going to say.
Yelling, "Kill the Americans!"
Why would they say that in English? Kill the Americans. Why would they fucking say that when they're dominated by Arab people? It is fucking stupid, right, to say that in English. He's outside of the mosque. You can just visualize that, for fuck's sake, right? Somebody with a megaphone. Yes, please. Sorry about this. Can I say kill the Americans? Really? This is melodrama. This is what this fucking preacher is all about. A absolute fucking bullshitter.
As Monsoor and his team are looking for the next attack, an insurgent from an unknown location throws a grenade up on the roof. It hits Monsoor in the chest, and it falls to his feet. Due to the length of the throw, there's no opportunity to pick it up and throw it back. He has only a split second to make a decision. He can leap through the doorway behind him.
He can leap through the door behind him. Now, I am going to put a clip of the real event said by the Navy, the SEAL team colleagues that were next to him. They actually made a narration, right? And some people made a small imagery video depicting that said thing, right? And it's not completely wrong. I think probably 50% wrong. There was no fucking doorway near where Monsoor was. Actually, he was sitting in a chair.
And save himself.
This is what really happened. This is real footage.
So this was our last operation for the deployment. You know, we were a week out from going home. It was myself and Mikey. And
see where Mikey is? The one sitting on the chair. Now I'm putting that at the top, standing in front of a doorway to this roof, standing on a doorway. Okay? Isn't it that deception from part of this guy, Turek? Isn't it that deception?
two of our other fellow SEALs, and then we also had 4 Iraqi Jundis that were with us.
We were so close to going home that when we stepped off on that final mission on September 29th, 2006, we were proud of what we had accomplished. And it was a hard-fought battle, but we were seeing progress.
That's Mikey, right? In the seat.
At some point, we don't know exactly, how they got there or where, how they were able to maneuver and sneak up on us, but a grenade did end up coming over the rooftop. And being behind Mikey, what I remember hearing was grenade, and the next thing I know was the explosion.
And Turek is saying there, remember, I'm putting that again, that's Turek's comment. Standing in front of a doorway to his roof, thinking, shall I run away or shall I jump on the grenade? If he's in the doorway, he cannot jump that far because probably the door, according to the map, right, the door to reach the roof is nowhere near where they are, right? So that's absolutely freaking wrong, and they're absolutely deceptive.
And so he made a very conscious and deliberate, selfless decision. Looked my direction, yelled grenade, and jumped down on it.
But if he does, his two teammates lying at his feet will surely
being behind
die.
Mikey, what I remember hearing was grenade, and the next thing I know was the explosion.
But instead of jumping backward to save himself, he jumps forward, chest first, onto the grenade. It detonates. 30 minutes later, 25-year-old Michael Monsoor is dead. His two teammates lying at his feet receive only minor injuries because Monsoor's body muffled the blast. One of the survivors said at Monsoor's funeral, Mikey looked death in the face.
That's a lie. Right? He did not look at the face of death. That type of sacrifice, you're not thinking about anything else, about just saving your teammate, going to the grenade and taking the blast. Okay, that's pure exploitation of a tragedy, right? To use it for religious concept, right? And this clown uses it almost every single time I've seen him in a video, on a university lecture. He always brings this up, or almost always brings it up, right? He's a really deceptive, really fucking deceptive, yeah? And I leave you guys to actually read that because I'm close to the end. I'm really sick to actually talk about this piece of shit, right? And insult the bravery of Navy SEALs or any other soldier that gives their life for the teammate, right? So the others can go home, right? And this guy, with a grin in his face, exploiting that for religious purposes, right? And equate that to a man-made religion, saying, oh, Jesus Christ did the same. It's not the fucking the same if your alleged Jesus Christ can resuscitate. Do you see Mr. Monsoor resuscitating, you idiot? Which one's got the more merit? Right, the one that can resuscitate, yeah, or the one that stays dead? The one that stays dead have the fucking merit, right? Because if you can resuscitate, come back from the dead, there's no merit on the death. The whole point of death is to stay dead. You idiot.
That day and said, you will not take my friends, I will go in their stead. I've never seen a United States president cry until April of 2008. That's when President George W. Bush invited Monsoor's parents into the East Room of the White House to give them their son's Medal of Honor.
And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to leave it here. I just wanted to point out how far this guy Turek will go, right, to exploit as I said before, the bravery of a soldier, right? And he just fucking takes the piss out of it, right? And uses it for his own personal gain or religious gain. That's bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice one.